Hey everyone, how's it going? Thanks so much for tuning in. Today we're going to be taking an in-depth look at the 2024 Buick Envista Sport Touring. As with all of my reviews, I'm going to cover all of the ins and outs and take this thing on a thorough drive. There's a whole lot of stuff to cover, so without further ado, let's go ahead and start her up and let her run. The Envista is an all-new offering for 2024. Designed from the onset to be one of the most affordable crossovers in its segment, it offers high-quality materials, an upscale design, and plenty of technologies for the modern era to attract migrating sedan owners, young professionals, and small families to the Buick portfolio. The Envista is the mechanical cousin to the Chevrolet Trax, but that's where the similarities end. It's a more upscale offering, not just from a design perspective, but it has nicer interior furnishings and a more refined driving experience. It splits the difference between mainstream and premium. Compared to the more expensive Encore GX, the Envista rides on a 4-inch longer wheelbase and is 11 inches longer overall. This makes for an impressively large rear seat for a compact crossover. It's a lot sleeker of a design too, mainly thanks to its 3-inch lower roofline and coupe-like profile. The Envista is the first Buick to fully adopt the brand's newest styling language, inspired by the Wildcat EV concept. It features a low-profile silhouette, long wheelbase, and forward-leaning nose. A new Buick emblem is positioned directly above a sleek, intricate grille design. Compared to the now discontinued Encore, the Envista is a huge departure in every way. The body sides encompass sculptural beauty with powerful fender forms and a sculpted waistline that create the perception of fluid motion. The headlamps and tail lamps evolve Buick's signature wing lighting with a thinner and more crisp form. LED checkmark lamps are mounted high on the fascia, while other functional lighting is lower on the body. The Envista is currently offered in 3 trim levels, including the $23,495 Preferred, the $25,195 Sport Touring, and the $29,695 Avenir. There's up to 8 colors to choose from depending on the trim level. The Avenir is the more luxury-focused of the bunch and features distinctive styling cues, such as additional chrome trim, body color moldings, fancier wheels, and all of the bells and whistles, including fancier taillights. The Sport Touring has blacked-out window trim, a blacked-out grille, black body side moldings, and black wheels. This example is finished in Sunrise Red Metallic, which is a $495 option. This example is also equipped with several optional packages, including the Experience Buick Package, the Advanced Safety Package, the Convenience 1 and the Convenience 2 packages. All in, with Destination, the total MSRP for the Sport Touring we're checking out today is $29,070. Depending on the trim level, the Envista comes standard with 17-inch, 18-inch, or 19-inch alloy wheels. You also have the option of upgrading to the next size up, unless already equipped with 19-inch wheels. For example, the ST features 18 by 7.5-inch black painted wheels that are wrapped in 225/55 all-season tires. These wheels in particular, also finished in gloss black, are part of the Experience Buick package. They measure 19 by 8 inches and are wrapped in 245/45 all-season tires. Stopping power comes from 4-wheel disc brakes with electronic power assistance. The rotors span 11.8 inches in the front and 11.3 inches in the rear. They're clamped down by single piston calipers. The discs benefit from GM's Duralife technology, which uses a process called ferritic nitrocarburizing to give them superior resistance to corrosion and rust. The front discs are internally ventilated for improved cooling. With this setup, the Envista stops smoothly and sure-footedly with great stability. The park and brake is an electronic setup, engaged by a button in the center console behind the shifter. The Envista's suspension consists of independent McPherson struts in front and a compound crank setup in the rear. With the 19-inch wheels, the rear suspension is upgraded to a Watts-Link design for improved handling, ride quality, and cabin isolation. The Watts-Link is standard on the Avenir and optional on the Sport Touring. I thought the overall handling and stability was quite good. It's not necessarily agile, but it takes curves well without too much body roll, and the ride quality is pretty supple. It feels more like a car than an SUV. The steering is an electric rack and pinion setup that's surprisingly weighty, which offers a sportier feel. The turning circle with the larger wheels is 38.4 feet. The Envista's flat-bottom steering wheel is leather-wrapped on the Sport Touring and features grip bolsters at 10 and 2. It's also manually adjustable for tilt and reach. A really nice standard feature is the 8-inch diagonal color driver information center. It's incorporated into the wide, one-piece curved instrument panel, which also includes the central infotainment system. It provides key vehicle information such as vehicle speed, fuel range, average fuel economy, tire pressure, oil life, trip odometer, warning icons, and more. It's also reconfigurable with different display formats. Using the buttons on the right side of the steering wheel, you can switch between the various display formats to suit your preference. The Envista has a lot going for it when it comes to style and affordability. However, one area it's lacking is performance. Under the hood is a turbocharged 1.2-liter inline 3-cylinder engine that features aluminum construction, double overhead camshafts, 4 valves per cylinder, variable valve timing, and direct fuel injection. It develops 137 horsepower at 5,000 RPM and 162 pound-feet of torque between 2,500 and 4,000 RPM. This translates to a 0 to 60 time of around 8.6 seconds. For a general commuter, the Envista has adequate performance. When the turbo kicks in, it pulls pretty good, but it still leaves a lot to be desired. Power delivery is pretty smooth and the transmission is pretty responsive, but there is some turbo lag with heavy throttle inputs. Higher speed maneuvers will require more careful planning. For most folks, I'm sure it's more than adequate, but in my opinion, a small 4-cylinder engine might be a better option here, as it wouldn't have to work as hard as the 3-cylinder. The Envista is also front-wheel drive only and does not offer any selectable drive modes. A 6-speed automatic transmission is standard. Along with a 3.5:1 final drive ratio, the transmission has an electronic range select feature that allows you to manually select which gears you want the transmission to shift between. It's engaged by pulling the shifter all the way back to the L position. I recently had the opportunity to drive a Buick Encore GX with the 1.3-liter turbo 3-cylinder, all-wheel drive, and the 9-speed transmission. That review will be coming out soon. I bring that up because the Encore GX is also available with the 1.2-liter and front-wheel drive, but it comes paired to a continuously variable transmission. I like that the Envista has a conventional automatic transmission. The 6-speed performs just fine. After all, the Envista is meant to target a lower price point, so some of its shortcomings are understandable. That being said, I think there is so much more potential and potentially an even wider customer base with a more powerful engine and even the option of all-wheel drive. When it comes to fuel economy, EPA estimates range between 28 miles per gallon in the city and 32 miles per gallon on the highway. During my week of driving, I averaged around 30 miles per gallon. The Envista uses regular unleaded gasoline and has a total tank capacity of 13.2 gallons. A selectable auto start-stop system is standard. For this class and price point, the Envista has a roomy cabin with great storage and lots of standard and available tech. As expected, materials used are on the cheaper side, with more hard surfaces than soft, but at least for the front seat area, there's soft touch materials on the essential touch points and even across the middle of the dashboard. Standard Buick Quiet Tuning combines several technologies to help reduce, block, and absorb unwanted sound for a quiet interior, including active noise cancellation. On the Preferred and Sport Touring, a 6-way manual driver's seat is standard, along with a 4-way manual passenger seat. Available on the Sport Touring and standard on the Avenir is an 8-way power driver's seat with 2-way power lumbar, not to mention keyless open and start. The standard upholstery is a combination of cloth and leatherette. The Sport Touring gets full leatherette upholstery. The front seats are pretty comfortable overall. Heated front seats are available along with a heated steering wheel. The only model that's offered with anything other than black upholstery is the Avenir, which also replaces the leatherette for genuine leather. The Sport Touring receives nicer interior furnishings compared to a Preferred, such as a leather-wrapped steering wheel, additional soft touch points, unique Santorini blue stitching and accent piping, ST logos on the headrest, gloss black trim accents on the dash and center console, and unique door trim. An 11-inch diagonal HD color touchscreen is standard, along with a 6-speaker audio system. The capacitive touch design works just like a smartphone for ease of use. In addition to standard wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, you have Bluetooth audio streaming, the ability to connect to Bluetooth-enabled devices, Sirius XM satellite radio, and a voice command system. The infotainment system is very simple, with just the basics included. Having the smartphone integration technologies allows you to port over your favorite navigation and media apps and more. A 4G LTE Wi-Fi hotspot is standard. Type A and Type C USB data and charging ports can be found in the center console, along with a 12-volt power outlet. In addition to the climate controls in the center stack, you can also operate the climate settings within the infotainment system. It's a single-zone system with manual controls and digital readouts. An automatic climate control system is included with the Avenir, along with other convenience features such as an auto-dimming rearview mirror. As I mentioned earlier, the Sport Touring is offered with 4 packages, many of which include options I've covered already or will be covering soon. One package in particular is the Experience Buick package, which, in addition to offering some of the goodies that would otherwise be found on the Avenir, you also get a power moonroof with sunshade. The Envista comes standard with Buick's Driver Confidence package. The package includes 6 active safety and driver assistance technologies, such as automatic emergency braking, lane keep assist with lane departure warning, IntelliBeam automatic high beams, hill start assist, forward collision alert, following distance indicator, and more. You also have some extras such as Team Driver, Buckle to Drive, and Rear Seat Reminder. A high-definition rear vision camera with backup lines is standard. Available safety technologies include lane change alert with side blind zone alert, adaptive cruise control, and rear cross traffic alert. Rain Sense automatic windshield wipers are available. As far as airbags, all Envistas feature frontal airbags for the driver and front passenger, seat-mounted side impact airbags for the driver and front passenger, and head curtain airbags for the front and rear outboard seating positions. In its basic configuration, the Envista's rear seat isn't much to write home about, but it does offer pretty good room overall for a smaller crossover. Enabled by the long wheelbase and efficient layout, the Envista offers the spaciousness and legroom often seen in much larger vehicles. It offers more legroom than any prior Buick small SUV, including the Encore GX. The headrests are adjustable and foldable for extra visibility, but the rest of the seat is fixed in place, with the exception of the folding mechanisms that help expand cargo space. It's not until you get to the Envista Avenir that you get some nicer amenities. They include adjustable air vents in the back of the center console for greater rear seat comfort, a fold-down armrest with cup holders, and an additional seat-back storage pocket on the driver's seat. Being 5'10", I did not have any issues with rear seat space. In fact, I had over an inch of headroom left over and plenty of leg space. You can seat up to 3 people back here, and there's latch child seat anchors in all 3 positions. The rear seat has good padding and is decently comfortable. Overhead, there's grab handles, coat hooks, and a microphone for the hands-free phone system so everybody can be heard equally. You also have overhead lighting and lower door pockets. For additional convenience, the Envista is available with a powered liftgate, so it'll fully open with the touch of a button. Electronic obstacle detection will reverse an automatic open or close if it senses something in its path to help prevent damage to the liftgate. A removable privacy cover is standard to keep prying eyes off your cargo. Behind the rear seat, you have 20.7 cubic feet of cargo space. The rear seat is a 60-40 split design for cargo and passenger flexibility. If you folded everything flat, you'll notice that the load floor transition is flat, which is really nice. The Envista's total cargo capacity is 42 cubic feet. On the left side of the trunk floor, you'll find a decent-sized cubby as well as illumination. Underneath the trunk floor is where you'll find a temporary spare tire and all of the related changing equipment. There's also enough space if you needed to stow additional emergency items. The trunk floor can be positioned in a way that it remains in an open position for added convenience. Considering its size, the Envista has great interior storage too. The center console up front has 2 cup holders and a couple of storage cubbies, including the one underneath the padded armrest, plus large door pockets. The Sport Touring is offered with a wireless phone charger. Various USB outlets in the front and rear allow for easy device connectivity and charging. The glove box is not lockable, but it has an impressive amount of space. Well everyone, that's going to wrap it up for this video. I hope you all enjoyed. Please don't forget to leave a like down below because it really helps the videos a lot. And if you haven't subscribed already, consider doing so. And make sure you have your notifications turned on. I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.